You are listening to the So Now What podcast with Lana Manikowski, episode number 90.
So now what? These three words raced through my mind time and time again during my journey through fertility treatments. I tried desperately to have a child, but never was able. I yearned for a community to join that could understand my struggles. I couldn't find one, so I created one with the So Now What podcast. I love that you found us.
I hope you are having a beautiful week. Everything is so good here. Finally feeling settled into the new place. It's my wedding anniversary, 14 years since Jack and I got married today. And I want to talk about feeling in alignment. But before I do that, I wanted to tell you about a resource that I have available that is free for you. Anyone who is looking to love their life again and feel as though they wake up every day feeling connected to who they are and feeling more connected to this new reality of maybe being childless, not by choice, or navigating the feelings that come along with realizing that motherhood just might not be in the cards for you. I created the Guide to Loving Your Life Again. It's about a 3-page free workbook that helped me a lot. And I've used a lot of these methods with some of my students to really start realizing how to start loving your life again. Because what we're going to talk about in this week's podcast is feeling more in alignment with yourself again. And a lot of that is recognizing that life might not feel as good as you want it to feel right now. And there's nothing wrong with you if that is the case with you, because life has changed for us in many significant ways that we didn't anticipate. So the Guide to Loving Your Life Again, if you want to download it, you can go to lanamanikowski.com/guide. It's there to download. Also on Instagram, into my bio on Instagram, you'll be able to download the guide there. I really encourage you to download the guide and pay attention to some of the questions that I ask in the guide or some of the affirmations that you can start practicing. If you haven't used affirmations before, I find affirmations most helpful as quick reminders throughout the day. Affirmations sometimes work well if you put a post-it somewhere in your notebook, if you keep a journal, sometimes on your mirror. I do that. I have post-its on my mirror or in front of my window by my office so that when I'm here on my computer, I can look in front of me and there's a bunch of post-its with just reminders that I want to have for myself. And then I offer you some thoughts that you might want to bring into your life more and some new things that you want to practice thinking about yourself and believing about yourself as a woman without children. So the Guide to Loving Your Life Again is one of the best resources that you can find. And it's free. I don't want to charge for it. I don't want anyone to pay me money to learn how to start loving their life again, because I think that is something that is due to us just by being human. And that's why I want to talk about feeling in alignment with yourself this week. So this past weekend, I went to go see one of my biggest teachers and a mentor in the teachings that I teach. Esther Hicks, also known as Abraham Hicks, was speaking here in Chicago this weekend. And I went to go listen to her. It was about a 4.5, 5-hour seminar that was just what my soul was wanting to hear and wanting to learn more about, because I am so attracted to this message of living your truest version of you. And many of us who went through fertility treatments and didn't end up becoming moms adopt this idea that life will be okay or be good, but never be great again because it will never feel complete again. Listening to Abraham Hicks for all the years that I've been listening to her, I listen to her YouTube channel. Oftentimes when I'm driving, I'll pipe it through on my Bluetooth. Listening to how to become more calibrated or more in alignment with yourself and with the people around you is something that I'm just so interested in incorporating more into my life because I really think that's what allows us to be the truest version of ourselves. So let me tell you a little bit about what that looks like. So whenever we think about ourselves and this vessel that we are in, is it possible to innately trust that your inner being, the soul part of you, the part that you can't see, but just these feelings and these emotions inside, are always calibrating to feel good, to attract the goodness, attract the positive, want to love? Is it possible to just close your eyes and imagine how you feel when you are calibrated and you're feeling at peace? You're feeling proud of who you are. You're feeling love just radiating for your body, from your body. Imagine how that feels and consider that that is the way that you were created to feel all the time, every day, that in your resting place and in your day to day just version of you that is genuinely you and who you are, that that is the intention for how you were created to feel. And that might feel like a stretch right now, and that's okay, but know that that is your resting place. You know, they talk about the resting heart rate. Imagine if that's like just your resting place of being you. And anytime things come out into your your universe or within your vortex around you or in your surroundings that disrupt that feeling, that is an indicator of your inner desired person of who you are or feeling or being of who you are, telling you that it doesn't feel good because it's not in alignment with who you are. Okay, so think about that a little bit. You're designed to be this person that is just at peace and in harmony and wanting to love others, wanting to love yourself, wanting to love your life. Like that is the place that you feel most at home with those feelings. And when things around you are triggering to you or ruffling feathers or not in alignment with you, that is yourself telling you, like, pay attention to this thing. Why is it not matching up with who I truly am and who I truly desire to be? And then just pause and pay attention. Why is something bothering you right now? Why is something making you sad? Why is this person aggravating you or hurting your feelings? And just pay attention. That's a good time to pause. And if you're a paper thinker, or even if you want to write something down in the notes section of your phone and just pay attention to it and decide that that doesn't have to be in misalignment with you. Maybe there's something about that circumstance that is changeable. Maybe you're automatically going to thinking that that's not right. That's annoying. That person doesn't have the best intentions for me. That person's judging me, like all these things. What if you allowed all those things that are outside of you to just be and decide that you don't have to bring them into your vortex, into your inner being of wanting to feel peace and solace? Now, you don't have to go and figure out how to do that right now, but can you just say that it is possible to do that? Or I'm interested in figuring out how to attract more of what brings me this inner peace or this inner joy or this inner love for myself. Two things that I like to talk about are like noticing where you are when you feel out of alignment or who you're around or what you're experiencing. So noticing and then just normalizing it, not judging it, just saying, okay, like I notice it. It makes sense that if somebody asks me if I've thought about adoption, I would be triggered by that or be hurt by that or annoyed by that. And just notice it and just normalize it and just say, you know what? It makes sense. I get it. But realizing that you don't have to always feel that way, that you don't want to always feel that way. Like, let's put it that way, that you know that you don't want to be triggered by that, or you don't want to believe that your life is always going to be at 80%. And then understanding that there is a desire within you that wants to feel differently from that. And just normalizing that, yeah, it makes sense that I feel that way. And just bringing it to your awareness are steps to starting to build this life that you can love again and that you feel more in alignment with who you are, more in alignment with who you were intended to be, and the energy that you're truly desiring to continue through this world, emitting and receiving from this world. So I'll leave you with that. If you haven't checked out Abraham Hicks, she's got an awesome YouTube channel. Like I said earlier, I listen to it almost every day when I'm driving, and just pay attention to some of the messages that she brings about feeling calibrated and feeling in alignment with who you truly are intended to be. Because in my opinion, we don't want to go around being angry at people or pointing fingers at people for the way that they make us feel, or being disappointed with ourselves, or wishing that we would have done better or that we could do better. Like, that's not who we are. That's not who we're calibrated to be. So how can we continue on in this world, taking in the things that go on around us and find a way to decide how we can calibrate that to be the version of ourselves that we are intended to be? Have an awesome week. I love you. And remember, it is never too late to discover your meaning. I'll talk to you next week.